Hey, welcome to another episode of Just Another Effing Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about Bully Ray opening mouth, inserting foot, a change in WWE's name, and we go through our top 10 promos of all time, all here, all ready, just for you, and Just Another Effing Podcast. Hit the music. Coming to you live from the effing Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown, it's Just Another Effing Podcast. Hey, and welcome to Just Another Effing Podcast. I am one of your hosts, the greatest tag team in all of wrestling podcast history. I'm the JFB, James from Boston.
And it's me, the Patron Saint of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it. And
Oh, yeah.
let me just say this.
Yeah.
You know, we're called Just Another Effing Podcast.
Yeah.
We don't need to have a podcast, but because there's so many podcasts out there. But we thank you so much for tuning in to Just Another Effing Podcast every week.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Our fans who download on Monday, the guys who join in live on Sunday, Joseph Graham Jr., hello to you too, my good sir. It is an honor to sit here every Sunday and just talk about the thing that we love the most, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, professional wrestling, of course. Now, before we get into the news and before we get into the shenanigans of our top 10 promos of all time, we have a special guest with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brent Barr to Just Another Effing Podcast. What is going on, my brother?
What's going on, guys?
Can we
Good to
get
be
some
here.
of that crowd noise when we get a guest? So we can be like,
No worries.
yeah, just get some cheering. Can we get some of that in there?
We can start. This is awesome.
Yeah, we can get that in the background when we have a guest to just quickly put on the audio.
I can find a way to add that on there. I think
That'd
I
be
can.
fun.
So we wanted to ask you a few questions because you are currently training to become a professional wrestler. So my first question to you is, what inspired you to start training for pro wrestling?
Oh, Lord. I don't know. It's like when we're all kids and then we find wrestling itself, we figure that becoming a fan is not enough.
Yeah.
That, we grow up and then we realize that that's something that we want to do. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where it started.
Awesome.
What is something that you learned while in the ring training?
Honestly, taking the first bump was the realizing that it's real. I mean, kayfabe real, but regardless, it hurts.
Oh,
So just to have respect for your partner and your body and the ring.
Yeah.
Follow-up question. Did you have any injuries while training yet?
No, not yet.
You're lucky.
Not yet.
I had whelps. I mean,
I'm knocking on wood for you right now.
canvas and wood, brother.
So given a chance, who would you really want to learn from? If you can learn from anybody in professional wrestling, who do you want to learn the most from?
Honestly, right now, with AEW being in my personal opinion, the top promotion aside from New Japan and all
Yeah.
those others. I won't talk about WWE. They're not bad. Love it.
Yeah.
But Daniel Bryan, maybe? Or no, my bad. Bryan Daniels.
Yeah.
Got to keep that. Like,
Yeah, gotta keep it kayfabe, yo.
the American Dragon, why not?
Yeah.
just under the AEW learning tree would be the place to go.
Yeah.
So you took a bit of time off after training. What motivates you to get right back at it?
Yeah, it's been a little while, but just to jump back in and take another shot, see where it'll take me.
Sweet. All right. So my question is, if you could have changed anything, would you?
No. I honestly, I had I met a local guy, Mitch Bell. He actually kind of got me as far as like looking at getting into a wrestling school, and I'm literally from New Albany, Indiana, Midwest. It's where like wrestling is like huge.
Yeah.
Still, and then California and then Florida. But yeah, so he actually was like an enhancement talent for WWE or F at the time for a while, and then he well, like most wrestlers, he died, overdose. But yeah, he was a good guy. I got to set the ring up and all that other cool stuff.
That's awesome. Do you have another question, Canada Dry?
No, I'm good. Let's get on to the news.
Yeah, let's get on to our news, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, with the news, we have $1 million intro. This week in Effing News, man, what an intro. It's a thing of beauty. So apparently Peter Avalon and Cody Rhodes are free agents, and there are several other contracts that are expiring relatively soon, including Leo Rush. Are we going to see a mass exodus, if you will, from AEW with these contracts coming up?
I don't think so. I think it'll be a trickle, if anything. And I think what they're going to do, like, for example, with Peter Avalon, I think they're going to pay him per usage on Dark.
Yeah. What do you think, Brent?
I'm going with what Canada Dry said. I think it's going to be a trickle effect.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as Cody Rhodes, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's his bread and butter. But aside from that, AEW is the place.
Yeah, everybody's talking about possibly Cody Rhodes showing up at Rumble and winning.
That would be funny. They were talking about Mickie James is actually talking about how she wanted to take the Impact Women's Knockout to the Rumble. She's in talks with them right now.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's gonna happen, because it's not their title or their show.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Their show, my apologies, just not their title.
Yeah. Bruce Pritchard said on one of his podcasts that if you're worried about Vince McMahon hanging up the boots at any time soon, it's not going to happen. That man is going strong at 70 plus years old. Bruce Pritchard said, not a chance. This guy's going to be doing it for many, many years. Brent, you got to wonder, do you think that Vince is close to either selling or possibly retiring at some point?
I would hope he does. I mean, he's had his finger on the pulse for damn near 70 plus years.
Yeah.
I think that Paul or Triple H. I think that him, Stephanie and Shane would be a good replacement, and then he could just kick back and enjoy life.
Yeah, enjoy that retirement.
I don't think Vince could sit back and enjoy life.
He's not going to.
I just don't see it in him. You're going to have to pry this company from his cold, dead hands.
I have a feeling
like
that
XFL,
he's going
right?
to. I have a feeling he's going to have a kiss my ass line for possibly who might take over WWE at some point. So,
yeah, the one thing that really, I guess, I don't want to say chaps my ass, but like it's like the mass exodus, like they're letting people go, like Braun Strowman and all those guys. I mean, it makes the indie scene stronger, but it's like, dude, you guys are getting rid of like really good talent.
Yeah. Joseph Graham says the way Mickie was treated, I'm surprised she's going back. Honestly, here's my take on that. I think a lot of the reason why she is being invited is because of the way she was treated when she was released, when they sent her her belongings in a trash bag with a Post-it note on it. I think this is kind of a building that bridge and not burning it on both ends. So that's my take. Canada, what do you think, brother?
Well, I like what Joseph said. He said he sells before he retires. But even with selling, could you see Vince not involved in some, like, what's he going to do with the rest of his life?
He's starting another wrestling company.
What would he do? I can't see him sitting by the pool with a pina colada. It's just not him.
He's going to have cardboard cutouts of Briscoe and Pat Patterson and
people yelling at him, just yelling at him.
Yeah, he's gonna yell and scream at him and talk about this is what we should do creatively. That's my take. All right, open mouth insert foot. Bully Ray said that John Moxley should have apologized to the fans for going to rehab. This resulted in the internet wrestling community and wrestlers themselves going nuts on Bully Ray. I personally don't think if you go to rehab, you're trying to take care of yourself mentally and physically. You don't owe us any apology. I'd rather see John Moxley clean and sober and happy than drunk and miserable and possibly hurt himself in the process. That's my take.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that, him being a husband and a father now, he's got to look at his career in a different way. I mean, make that that transition. I mean, he's still John Moxley no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we saw him at that promo he caught was beautiful. The Scar promo, as I'm calling it, was a great promo. And it really, really hit home to a lot of us, because
we were tempted to put it on the show.
Yeah, we were tempted to put it on the show. I mean, we talked about it, whether it would really fit into the promos, But yeah, I mean, it's a strong promo, but it's from the heart, and I don't think he owes an apology for going to rehab. I mean, we all have to deal with our demons.
Here's the thing, is that he's trying to get attention by saying shocking things.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You don't say something shocking to get press. You don't want negative press.
No, not at all. I mean, especially him being an AEW, I mean, with the way that they've been going, dude, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus the talent. I mean, come on, like.
Well, yeah. Is it going to affect Tony Khan coming on his show again in the future? Like, you got to wonder.
I don't see Bully Ray showing up at AEW anytime soon.
No, but Tony Khan often goes on the Busted Open Radio.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Is Tony Khan going to keep appearing?
I think he will, because Mark Henry and what's his face are, they're not off their gourd. They make legitimate discussions, and Bully Ray happens to insert
Mark Henry's on the Busted Open as well, right?
Yeah. All right, so let's get to SmackDown. Roderick Strong apparently is backstage at SmackDown. He's probably most likely going to start wrestling some dark matches. What does this do for Diamond Mine? And does this mean he signed another contract, because his contract was coming up soon as well? Do we see him make a main roster move?
Well, I think what this really does for him, it lets him get out of the shadows of the rest of the members of what are they called again?
The Diamond Mine, I guess. Is that what it is?
No, the Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era.
Let him get out of the shadow of the rest of the Undisputed Era. If he were to go to AEW, he would just, so this gives him a chance to really be his own man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Tetsu Naito has taken a pay cut to stay at New Japan Pro Wrestling. He cites that with COVID and attendance is down because people are not showing up. He wanted to take a pay cut so he could alleviate some of the financial issues that New Japan Pro Wrestling is doing. And in a time when we're still in the COVID era of professional wrestling, I think it's refreshing that you have a big name like Naito, who is most likely going to have a bunch of matches against Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. I love it. I think it's great. I think a lot of wrestlers need to start looking at the realism that attendance is not going to be where it was pre-COVID, So what are your thoughts there, Brent?
I agree. I definitely agree. I'd like to see New Japan work with a couple more promotions more,
Yeah.
aside from like Noah and all that. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it'd be nice to see like the New Japan title go to like AEW or Impact or some kind of like literally the whole industry working together instead of just being like, the big dog. Like, I don't want to work with you guys. It'd be
Yeah.
nice to see WWE working with everybody, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'd like to see like a maybe an American, where they come back to California, or maybe just
Oh, yeah.
something like another big show.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I'd love to see them go to MSG and
That would be awesome.
do it in Vince's backyard. Talk about having an aneurysm. That's going to do it. That's going to put Vince in the grave.
You think that would make him wake up a little bit more?
Oh, probably. Yeah. I mean, he can't get Triple H to cancel every MSG show
No.
that comes out. But yeah, I mean, I think that would be I think that would be amazing to get them in New York, and in Vince's backyard. And I think Vince would have to pay attention to one of the, the second largest, wrestling promotion in the world, behind WWE and AAA. And, you're talking about a global
AAA.
phenomenon. AAA is amazing. I can't.
Yeah. God, man, they've got talent. Like,
oh yeah. So our last bit of news. So apparently Walter's name changed to Gunther Stark. Then WWE realized through tweets that that was the name of a very famous Nazi. So they shortened it to Gunther for the time being. I'm not big on name changes when you have an established name. Everybody knows him as Walter. He's Walter on the Indies. He was Walter at Rev Pro. He was Walter in NXT UK. The change his name to Gunther, and Finn Balor brought up a valid point. Not everybody liked the name Finn Balor when he came to WWE, but you can't name your character after one of Hitler's top U-boat.
But let me say this: they knew what they were doing. They just didn't like the backlash, so they had to, backtrack on that.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to call Walter? You're going to call him Junior Hitler or something? I mean,
well, you know what? You know what they could do? Just instead of shortening names, just give them a last name, and then you can trademark it. Simple.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right. So we are through our. If we're going to go ahead and go forward, done with the news, we're going to go into, of course. What's that?
Oh, I was just agreeing with Joseph there.
Oh yeah. We're going to go with our main event, ladies and gentlemen. I present to you the Just Another FN podcast main event. Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Oh, the main event, ladies and gentlemen. We actually had a late start to discussing what we were going to do this week for our topic, and I presented it as one of 4 suggestions, and I don't even think 30 seconds passed before Canada Dry said, I think we should do promos. And so this is going to be a clip.
I don't even know what the other suggestions were.
I don't even remember either. The promo one was just brilliant. I mean, it's just brilliant. And we're not talking about who delivers the best promos. We're talking about the best promos that have ever been delivered in the history of professional wrestling. And of course, we are democratic here on Just Another FN podcast. We gave the top 4 to you, the viewers, the fans, the listeners, and had you vote on Twitter as to who you thought was the best one. So without further ado, let's get into our first one, number 10. I think everybody will recognize this guy. He is the father of Hook. Here's our number 10.
There's probably nothing more pathetic than seeing a grown man whine and cry, especially a 350-pound beast from the East, come out on national TV and whine and cry like a little bitch. Brother, come on, fess up. You tapped. You know you tapped. And I'm not going to get into this whole big thing and this whole controversy crap. Because in Living Dangerously, in Jersey, on pay-per-view, you pinned me in the middle. I've said it many times, and you were the better man. It wasn't the ring. It wasn't the hometown advantage. It was none of that. You pinned me, and you beat me. I never cried about the ref seeing the tap, not seeing the tap. None of that. I took it on the chin like a man, but not you. The big guy, the best big man in the business. Well, brother, the best little man, as you call me, in the business, beat you. I guess I'm bigger than you, because you tapped out. And Shane Douglas, you're up there doing color, which you're very good at. I think that's really where your future is, because your career is probably done, brother. Done. Because you're damaged goods. You're fragile, bro. And you want to mess with me. You're a fragile toothpick, and I'm a buzzsaw. And I am the only world champion in this company. The FTW World Heavyweight Champion. You don't want to recognize my belt, huh? You don't recognize my belt. Well, I think you're a liar. I think you're a flat-out, straight-up, lying, crying bitch. Why you always talk about my belt, Shane? Why you come out here week in and week out and talk about the fake orange belt, the bogus Taz, the guy never beat no one? Who'd you beat? Who'd you beat, brother? You won an NWA tournament and threw the belt down. That's what you did, and you had a regional belt called Eastern Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Belt. You made it the ECW, the Extreme Championship World Heavyweight Belt. You ain't beat no one for it. So what about me, Shane? What, so I'm bogus and you're not? So let's see. If I'm some guy, let's just say some guy, standing naked in front of his roach-infested apartment in like Altoona, Pennsylvania, and he's wearing a world belt, and he goes, I'm the ECW World Heavyweight Champion. You don't come out here and acknowledge him, do you? No, you don't talk about him because he's a schmuck. I agree. But you talk about this, don't you? And you talk about me. That's why, because you're obsessed with me, because I put you out. And you know, anytime I wrestled you, not only did I put you down physically, but now I put you down mentally, genius, Mr. Chalkboard, Mr. Cap, and down! I put you down! So I'll tell you what, kid, being that I'm the only real champ around here, anytime you want to shout at my belt, young boy, you could either just call the office or call me. Someone will give you my number. I'll give you a shot anytime, bro. Because, you know, you're probably a good FTW champion, but you can't beat me. You know why, Shane? Because I'm Taz, the human suplex machine, brother. The one and only. The FTW World Heavyweight Champion. Beat me if you can. Survive if I let you.
Wow. Holy,
What a promo.
let me tell you something. Taz is one of the top 10 promo cutters of all time. I got the chance to watch him in ECW live. I've seen him on television with ECW. I saw his small run in WWE. There is not, I mean, we could do a top 10 guys who do suplexes. Taz is in that discussion. But when we're talking about promos, nobody cuts a promo quite like Taz. It is absolutely amazing. Guys, what are your thoughts on the human suplex machine, Taz?
Well, that promo, it's different because we see him on AEW doing the commentary and doing Team Taz, but just to hear him in his prime, this is like a time machine, really. Going back in time and hearing that, even that look, I was like, "Who the hell is that guy?" But it just iconic. Like it's what you strive to do when you do a promo, something like that.
Exactly. Brent, what do you think about this human suplex machine?
Man, you talk about somebody that I mean, even though he's smaller, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
He's a great freaking guy. Like
Yeah.
not only the suplexes and whatnot, but just his run was cut way too short.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He should be in the Hall of Fame, wherever
Yeah.
the hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually believe it or not, he had a podcast about, I think it was like 3, 4, 5 years ago. Actually called him one time. Yeah. Amazing guy. I mean, really amazing guy. I mean, he's got his mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Hands on.
Yep.
I just don't like it when he sings Ruby Soho's entrance music.
Ruby
Soho.
Yeah, he is not a great singer. He's no Frank Sinatra, damn it. That's for sure. All right, let's go to our number 9. We wanted to try to do something for AEW, and you know, in the years that they've been around, there have been some decent promos, but this was a promo that kind of immediately went to the forefront for me in Canada Dry. That is going to be our number 9. You might know him as Dusty's son. This is Cody.
I'm reminded from that last match about a man who once sat on a stage just like that, looked in a ring just like this, and he gave one of the most important addresses in the history of our sport. It inspired thousands of would-be wrestlers. It mobilized literally millions of fans. It was the first hint of a revolution. I am talking about CM Punk and the pipe bomb. Someone told me to save this promo, but I honestly don't know if I'm going to get the chance, so I'm going to do it now. In that interview, that was the first whiff of a revolution. He laid out a roadmap. He listed things that for him, for somebody like me, were taboo at the time. Things like going to New Japan Pro Wrestling, working with Ring of Honor. And ultimately, he would talk about teaming with the Young Bucks. As destiny would have it, as fate would have it, he was unable to do those things, but he would join he would eventually wind up here in what Pro Wrestling Illustrated called the comeback of the year. But if we're being honest with one another, and I see all the CM Punk shirts, it is the comeback of the decade. We are all living it. We are all loving it. But in his absence, in the void that CM Punk left behind, somebody did do each and every one of those things. I did them. I carried every ounce of anti-monopoly sentiment on my shoulders. I held every grain of the revolution in my hand, and each and every one of you cheered. You want to ask why I won't turn heel? It's because you cheered me when I needed the most. When it says there is more than one royal family in wrestling, I am talking about me and all of us. People talk about the forbidden door. It's a proper noun. It's vernacular. But if you are an industry journalist who covers what we do and you disagree with anything that I say here tonight, you're not a journalist. As this generation likes to say, check the receipts, check the dates. Before there was a forbidden door, I was the one who built it. And I am gone. I'm gone for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and I see that the Young Bucks last week in the opening segment almost started the Wednesday Night Wars all over again. And listen, I know Red Dragon graduated hip toss class with flying colors, but I don't need to see the Bucks beat the developmental more than once. And then my friend, my Trelawney-like friend in Ricky Starks, my real-life friend, gets into a tiff with Jay Lethal. Word to the wise, the lethal injection is the one cutter in the business that people don't kick out of. Avoid, avoid, avoid. And then one of the most talented wrestlers on the planet that you're going to see later, Malachi Black. A guy who hung 2 losses on my name, and everybody knows I hate to lose. A man who needed no help, added insult to injury by getting help in the form of just this size and speed and strength. And I know we're not in the business of renaming people like Gunnar McGillibuddy or whatever the hell it is. But not just speed and strength, balls. Because if you come to AEW and you call yourself Brody, you've got balls. And I'll let you find out in 8 years what a mistake that was when that kid shows up. But speaking of Brody, speaking of Darby, of Miro, and of the TNT champion, Sammy Guevara. These are men, a lineage, a legacy of champions who taught you what you had been taught against. Everyone had been conditioned for 20 years that any title that doesn't have the world in it is a secondary belt. But we don't have secondary belts. The only way it's secondary is because right now, there's 2. I think it's pretty clear what we do. I know Tony Khan has sent a contract in the mail to Sammy Guevara and myself. Maybe it's not the contract I wanted. But Sammy, at this point, beach break, 2 titles, 1 champion. Oi, Sammy Guevara, what do you say?
Wow. Holy cow. Listen, you know he's the son of Dusty, and the way he cuts a promo is absolutely incredible. But this promo specifically, greatest promo he's ever cut. How great is it that you go from being booed and then being told you suck to everybody cheering you at the same time by just dropping a promo? Guys, let's wax poetic about Cody Rhodes.
Well, just like you said, it was hard to listen to the beginning, but it was beautiful to watch the transition of everyone saying you suck to Cody.
Yeah.
And one of the lines that really stuck out to me was, I am the forbidden door.
Yeah.
That this is going to go down.
Yeah.
People in podcasts are going to list this 20 years from now.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we're doing it the week of. We're groundbreaking here.
Yeah, exactly. Bingo. Ding. Brent, what did you think of Cody's promo?
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
That's all I can say. Phenomenal. I mean, his dad honestly laid the bricks, but he built the door.
Yep. Damn right he did.
And what would any podcast be without the salty comments from Alexander Haney? I mean, he's a Cody fan, but there's something disingenuous. It's just a checklist of booty licking.
Oh my God, he is the saltiest of the saltiest. The only thing that's saltier than Alex Haney is the Dead Sea, my friends. That is the only thing that's saltier than Alex Haney.
Oh, this is a perfect time for me to get in my Futurama quote. That is the saltiest thing I've ever eaten. And I once ate a whole bowl of salt.
Yeah. All right, let's go to our number 9. I'm going to have to do a screen share on this, ladies and gentlemen, because for some reason it is not wanting to load onto there. So we are going to do, we're going to do this really quickly. But oh wow, that's really cool.
Multiverse.
Here's our number 8, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa, this is a trip.
To take away the World Wrestling Federation Championship at SummerSlam on August 3 against The Undertaker. We'll get to that in a moment. First of all, considering last night, congratulations are in order. Hello there, eh? First of all, I just want to say thank you for letting me still be your hero. Thank you for believing in me. A few weeks ago, I was told, America, love it or leave it. Well, I've traveled all around the world. I've been all over the United States of America, and the one thing that I've in particular looked forward to is loving, leaving it. I want everybody to understand that nobody is more proud of being Canadian than I am. And I'm not really sure how things have escalated, but the one thing, I'm not so much anti-American as I'm just very, very pro-Canadian. Americans think that they're always better than us. They think they're better than everyone. But all you have to do is look at Donovan Bailey and you realize that they're not as great as they think they are. America, for me, Canada is a country where we still take care of the sick and the old, where we still have health care. We got gun control. We don't shoot each other and kill each other on every street corner. Yeah. Canada isn't riddled with racial prejudice and hatred. Across Canada, we all care for each other. And I am proud to be Canadian, and I am proud to be your hero, and I promise that I'll continue to live up to trying to do my best and to keep my word. And there's one promise that in particular that I want to make, and that promise is, in the SummerSlam in America, when I step in the ring with the World Wrestling Federation champion, The Undertaker, that I will not let my Canadian fans down. And I will be the World Wrestling Federation champion for a 5th time.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, you can you can say what you want. That man is loved at this time during his career, was more loved around the world than he was in America. And as much as his promos as a face were amazing, his heel promos were amazing. They were light years ahead of anything he was doing as a face. Let's wax poetic about Bret the Hitman Hart.
Well, the nice thing about Brett in this promo is he's feeling so comfortable in his own skin.
Yeah.
He, you look at some of his early work and he's feeling a bit, you can see he's feeling a bit shy. You feel he's a bit, you can see like him letting the anvil take the lead. But when he was leading the Hart Foundation in this charge, the fans were hanging on even when he's in America, they're hanging on every single word that Brett is saying. And I can clearly say that when Brett was doing this, he was as good as anyone in the business.
Yeah, absolutely. Brent, what do you think?
It's Bret Hart. I mean, again, what Canada Dry said, I don't know. I'm a big fan. Always have been. I think with his WWF run, I think at that point in time, he finally caught his stride.
Yeah.
I think like when he went to the other side, unfortunate.
Yeah.
They didn't use him like Vince did, but overall,
Joseph.
it's Bret Hart. I mean, come on. Yeah. It's like he's one of the greats.
Yeah, best there is, best there was, the best there ever will be, Mr. Bret Hart. Let's go to our number 7. It was difficult finding just specifically one promo from this guy. He is responsible for some of the greatest promos and even some of the greatest segments in pro wrestling history. He may not be full-time wrestling now, but man, when he was full-time, he brought it each and every day. I am talking about The Rock.
Your way through. Tell him, Rocky. I got 3 words. Die, Rocky, die. That's the gratitude I get from you pieces of crap for all my blood, my sweat, and my tears. Hey, this isn't about the color of my skin. This is about respect. I became the youngest Intercontinental Champion in WWF history. And what did it get me? In arenas across the country, I heard chants of Rocky sucks. Well, Rocky might be is a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them. Hey, that's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. And hey, let's talk about a racist faction. You want to talk about a group that's prejudiced? Let's talk about the DOA. The DOA epitomizes racism. But hey, you know what? The hell with the DOA. I want to make one point to all you jackass fans out there. Rocky Maivia and the new nation of domination lives, breathes, and dies respect. And we will earn respect by any means necessary.
Wow. I mean, I never liked him as the blue-eyed baby face. To me, it was with his Nation of Domination. Is when he was a heel, that's when he cut some of the greatest promos of all time. Let's wax poetic about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Let's let Brett go first.
Yeah, Brett, go ahead, man. Lay it down. What do you think about the smacketh down on The Rock's promo?
Oh Lord,
no pressure.
I mean, it's King Brahma. What can't you say about the guy?
Yeah.
Honestly, at the time, I think when that was going on, like, well, I mean, like when he started, he started off as that blue chipper, happy-go-lucky guy, and then like I guess it's like the transition right before he becomes the people's champ.
Yeah.
Hey, he hit it.
Yeah,
that's it. He hit it.
And what you really like about this promo is you feel the heart of the insults.
Yeah,
exactly.
Die, Rocky, die. Rocky sucks.
Yeah,
and he's out there to show you, No, I don't suck. I am the Rock.
Yeah.
And you really feel similar to kind of Cody's sort of promo
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he wins them
I agree.
over. And it's just kind of neat to see that transition. What we got here. Alex Haney, he says Brian Gerwitz should be getting the credit for this.
Yeah, Brian
it's
Gerwitz
so-
wrote probably almost the entirety of the Rock's promos. So
But-
much so that Gerwitz is his producing partner in his production company.
But a lot of the stuff Rocky came up with was his own, like the Rock sandwich or whatever, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was the Rocks.
Pie, damn it, pie.
The salty nuts, that was the Rocks.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our number 6. His cadence, his presence, and the draw gave me goosebumps. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania 3 at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. It's a day that I'm certain my guest at this time will not forget. I'm talking about the former Intercontinental Champion of the world, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, wrong one.
Hey, no worries, brother.
Whoops, wrong one. Okay.
You had to show Macho Man's with Jake's picture.
Yeah, I wonder if the Macho Man has
WrestleMania 3 at the
Nope. Yeah, I put the wrong audio on. All right. So, anyways,
So we have to skip Jake's maybe and do a top 9, I guess.
yeah, we'll get Jake's. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. I can't believe I put the wrong
Machos and
promo.
then oh no, Macho's in the top 4, so
Yeah.
to go to the next one.
Okay, here we go. Let me share the screen really quickly. I do have his promo. We'll have to just listen to the audio as we go into the multiverse again. You gotta love technology. It's always good. Here's Jake the Snake Roberts' actual promo.
WrestleMania 3 at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. It's a day that I'm certain my guest at this time will not forget. I'm talking
Whoop. There we go. This is the right one.
the Snake Roberts. The match is at hand.
Well, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Here we are at WrestleMania, and it's the biggest match of your career. Why? Because everything you stand for is on the line. Namely the $1 million belt. Oh yeah, it can be yours once again. You see, all you have to do to get it back is go through Damien and me. But you see, Damien and I don't forget. We remember all the times you made people grovel for your money. These were people far less fortunate than you. People who could use your money for essentials. And what did you do? You made fun of them. You humbled them, and you humiliated them. Well, now it's my turn. I'm going to make you beg, DiBiase. You are going to get down on your hands and knees. This time, you'll be the one that's humbled. This time, you'll be the one that's humiliated. And this time, you will be the one that grovels for the money. And how appropriate that the money you grovel for is your very own. A victim of your own greed, wallowing in the muck of avarice.
Longfellow couldn't have said it better.
Wow. Ladies
It's
and
so
gentlemen,
funny.
yeah,
It's so
Jake the
funny,
Snake. Jake the Snake Roberts. There was just something about the way he cut his promos, the deliberation, how deliberate it was, the enunciation, everything about it just made you stomach like tighten up in knots. I mean, the guy's a crazy guy. I mean, he was insane, so yeah. What do we think about Jake Roberts, Brent?
Jake Roberts. I think he just the way he was silent, well, quieter.
Yeah.
And brought the people in with his promos. I think that's what he's remembered for. Not only that, but just really, really good when it comes to in-ring tactics and psychology. Very, very much a guy that has the whole vernacular for wrestling.
Yeah. Canada, what do you think?
Well, the interesting thing about that promo that he did was he's already quiet and is a little bit quiet on the stream. So you really had to pay attention because he's got that quiet voice. The interesting thing is he had an injury on his voice box when he was young. And so for his wrestling, he had to change the way a promo was done by necessity.
Yeah.
And it really changed the business because everyone does that now. They're like, well, do I want to yell or do I want to talk quiet and mess with people's heads? And they use the Jake technique.
Yeah. I mean, he is, I consider him one of the top 5 promos, guys who do promos in the game. I don't think there's anybody out there quite as scary or as haunting as Jake the Snake Roberts. Maybe Waylon Mercy, but Waylon Mercy was a killer. He had some amazing promos, but Jake just took it to another level. So let's go to our number 5. This is the last one of our selections. I think he's pretty familiar. Let's face it, for the man of a million promos, this was one of his greatest. I am also always talking about the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Get ready. Woo! We are on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now, Buddy Landell, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilt liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
We could have done an entire episode of the 10 greatest Ric Flair promos. This one, the reason why we picked this one is because if you go on YouTube and you type in limousine riding, there are legitimately about 150 to 200 sports teams that do this in the locker room and do this exact promo. And that's the reason why. That's the reason why we picked it. So Brent, what is this in your top 5 promos from Ric Flair of all time?
Top 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, Ric Flair, the guy's dripping. I mean, he's got swag. He's got it all. It's the Nature Boy. I mean, come on, Migos.
Yeah.
They did a song about him. I mean, he's known. I mean, the guy's like more than just a legend.
Yeah. I mean, he's transcended the sport of professional wrestling. When you are mentioned multiple times in multiple rap songs about the Ric Flair drip, you made it. You made it as a professional wrestler. Canada Dry, what do you think of Mr. Flair and that helicoptering son of a bitch?
That helicoptering son of a bitch. Well, he made his career off of these promos.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Ric Flair's wrestling.
Yeah.
I've said it many times. But as a promo giver, I got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
And, I didn't even like Ric Flair, and I love going, woo! It's just one of those things. You don't have to like Ric Flair to love doing the woos. Like, it's just fun to do.
Yeah.
The limousine riding, that's right up there with a tear in my eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people decided to comment on, why weren't we not doing the tear in your eye? It's a great promo, but I don't see locker rooms of football teams doing the tear in my eye promo, So let's go to our number 4. Now this is all voted by you, the fans, ladies and gentlemen. This man played the everyman in every promo, and he killed it. We are talking, of course, about Cody Rhodes, Big Papa, the polka dotted wonder. We'll talk about Dusty Rhodes.
Here is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And Dusty, your fans welcome you back, man.
First of all, I would like to thank the many, many fans throughout this country that wrote cards and letters to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, while I was down. Secondly, I want to thank Jim Crockett Promotions for waiting and taking the time, because I know how important it was. Starcade 85, it is to the wrestling fans, it is to Jim Crockett Promotions. And Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, with that weight, got what I wanted. Ric Flair, the world's heavyweight champion. I don't have to say a lot more about the way I feel about Ric Flair. No respect, no honor. There is no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time. And Ric Flair, you put hard times on this country by taking Dusty Rhodes out. That's hard time. And we all had hard times together. I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big. My hand is just a little big. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad. And there were 2 bad people. One was John Wayne and he's dead, brother. And the other one's right here. Nature Boy Ric Flair. The world's heavyweight title belongs to these people. I'm going to reach out right now. I want you at home to know my hand is touching your hand for this gathering of the biggest body of people in this country, in this universe, all over the world now. Reach it out, because the love that was given me, and this time I will repay you now, because I will be the next world's heavyweight champion on this Hard Time Blues. Dusty Rhodes Tour 85 and Ric Flair, Nature Boy. Let me leave you with this. One way to hurt Ric Flair is to take what he cherishes more than anything in the world. That's the world's heavyweight title. I'm gonna take it. I've been there twice. This time when I take it, Daddy, I'm gonna take it for you. Let's gather for it. Don't let me down now, because I came back for you, for that man up there that died 10, 12 years ago and never got the opportunity to see a real world champion. And I'm proud of you, and thank God I have you. And I love you. Love you!
Hard times, baby. Hard times. I don't think there was a wrestler around that could convey that kind of emotion and connect with the average person sitting in the arena watching him cut promos. And again, we could do another episode of the top 10 promos of Dusty Rhodes of all time. This one was one of the great ones because the feud between him and Ric Flair was phenomenal. It is probably one of the greatest feuds of all time. But Dusty could cut a promo that you could connect with. You couldn't connect with Ric Flair because you weren't flying in jets. You weren't riding in limousines. You didn't have crocodile shoes, you know, but you could connect with the son of a plumber. That's for sure. Canada Dry, what do you think of the great Dusty Rhodes, baby?
That was a pretty good imitation.
I know. I practiced.
If you will. So what I love about I almost said Dustin. What I say about Dusty Rhodes is he could be like a pastor.
Yeah.
You know, he could have been a pastor and he could have he could have filled up an arena of Jesus lovers. like that's how good he is with talking. And I love that the NWA is basing a whole pay-per-view off this promo.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're even building up Dick Murdoch to try it. You know, it's not successfully, but they're trying to make him the new Dusty Rhodes. but
Yeah.
it's not working. But I like the premise of it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The everyman always will connect. Brent, what did you think of Polka Dot Genius, Mr. Dusty Rhodes, baby?
Mr. Dusty Rhodes. Hard times, daddy. Like Canada Dry said, like you said, I mean, he had a way of conveying, of getting you to come closer, there's no one else like him,
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes. I don't know. Every time I see the polka dots, it makes me want to cry, but he's wow.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
He's not a real Murdoch. What?
He actually he was a football player, and I think he fell into wrestling. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
he became who he became.
Yeah. He winded down with Kings and Queens. He's even under a bridge eating pork and beans, baby. Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes, baby. All right, let's get to our number 3. This one actually is legitimately the number 3, even though we played it a little bit earlier. No one has that intensity like our number 3 pick or your number 3 pick. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the one and only Macho Man, Randy Savage.
With the wrong picture.
No, that's right.
WrestleMania 3 at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. It's a day that I'm certain my guest at this time will not forget. I'm talking about the former Intercontinental Champion of the world, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Nothing means nothing.
Nothing
means nothing, man.
Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that?
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah. Macho Madness, yeah, has got more to offer than President Jack Tunney thinks that I got, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. Cards stacked against the Macho Man Randy Savage in WrestleMania 3. Yeah, let me say it, yeah. Let me say it out loud. And let me point to the president of the World Wrestling Federation. The Macho Man Randy Savage is not happy with your decision, yeah. I am the cream in the World Wrestling Federation.
Wait a minute,
and there is no doubt about it, yeah. You, Mean Gene Okerlund, you know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Oh, wait a minute, though, Randy. I've got to ask you very seriously. Do you blame Mr. Jack Tunney, the distinguished president of the World Wrestling Federation, for Ricky Steamboat being the Intercontinental Champion today?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Outside interference, yeah. In my moment of glory. Yeah, no, I'm living in a nightmare. And I am the cream. And now, not only the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship belt must fall, but the World Heavyweight Championship belt. Because Hulk Hogan, yeah, I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop. And there is no one that does it better than the Macho Man Randy Savage. On balance, off balance, doesn't matter. I'm better than you are, yeah. And I'm talking everyone in the World Wrestling Federation. And I'm even talking to President Jack Tunney, yeah. I'm on my way. And nothing is gonna stop me. Nothing's gonna stop me.
Just out of curiosity, Randy, and I certainly don't want to diminish your tremendous God-given talents, but I'm very curious. I haven't seen Elizabeth lately.
Yeah, she's on the outside of the ring. Does she interfere in matches? Yeah. Nothing, zero, yeah. Pure athlete, yeah. And I've been, maligned from the top to the bottom. And because they can't handle the Macho Man Randy Savage, the cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I always loved Macho Man's promos because it literally looked like he was going to have a stroke at any given moment. He'd just go and then fall down. Nobody does a promo with that kind of intensity than Macho Man Randy Savage. And the cream of the crop, he's had some amazing promos, but that cream of the crop and pulling out that little creamer was a stroke of genius. Brent, tell us what you think about the Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. I think Mach is he lived his gimmick, man. He lethally lived his gimmick. Like it's funny enough that Jay Lethal did the Black Machismo.
Yeah.
So Lethal had eventually gotten his number and is like, yeah, go ahead and use the thing. Just I mean, it's Mach, you know?
Yeah.
It's the Slim Jim, hey, you know?
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
I don't know. It's Macho Man. Come on.
Yeah. Canada Dry. Wax poetic about the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay, so what we don't see in this promo is, because we're not allowed to show video.
Yeah.
He's got like 5 creamers. And he keeps pulling them out. He puts them on Gene Okerlund's head. He just keeps pulling out creamer after creamer. It's like,
yeah.
I don't even know if Okerlund knew he had so many creamers that he was just kept on pulling out. But that is actually very distracting as you're watching that program, because you're like, wait, he's got more creamers. Like, but just the rasp in his voice and keeping that kayfabe all the time.
Yeah,
until he retired. And was off after the bone saw on Spider-Man. He wasn't able to talk normal wherever he went. He just finally was able to just be himself and just release that. Like, talking like this for like the whole time was it probably wear on you, right?
Oh yeah, it's got a bit of strain on the vocal cords, man.
Well, emotionally too, just talking like that.
I mean, and here's a little plus on it. I don't think you would have the great promos that you got from Hulk Hogan and the promos you got from Macho Man and the promos you got from everybody else, like Mr. Perfect, if it wasn't for the one common denominator, and that was Mean Gene Okerlund. He was an essential part of those promos, because Mean Gene helped sell those wrestlers, bar none. And so, I mean, we could do another show about just Mean Gene Okerlund. I mean, he is a huge part of me and Canada Dry's childhood.
Well, he definitely made Hulk Hogan bigger. Like, he was the perfect second half for Hulk Hogan.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go to our number 2, as voted by you, the fans. Often shooting from the hip, regardless if it was scripted, he made it always seem like a shoot. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Chicago-made CM Punk.
John Cena speared.
John Cena, while you lay there, hopefully as uncomfortable as you possibly can be, I want you to listen to me. I want you to digest this, because before I leave in 3 weeks with your WWE Championship, I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. I don't hate you, John. I don't even dislike you. I do like you. I like you a hell of a lot more than I like most people in the back. I hate this idea that you're the best. Because you're not. I'm the best. I'm the best in the world. There's one thing you're better at than I am, and that's kissing Vince McMahon's ass. You're as good as kissing Vince's ass as Hulk Hogan was. I don't know if you're as good as Dwayne, though. He's a pretty good ass kisser. Always was and still is. Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall. I am the best wrestler in the world. I've been the best ever since day one when I walked into this company, and I've been vilified and hated since that day because Paul Heyman saw something in me that nobody else wanted to admit. That's right, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. You know who else was a Paul Heyman guy? Brock Lesnar. And he split just like I'm splitting, but the biggest difference between me and Brock is I'm going to leave with the WWE Championship. I've grabbed so many of Vincent K. McMahon's imaginary brass rings that it's finally dawned on me that they're just that. They're completely imaginary. The only thing that's real is me, and the fact that day in and day out for almost 6 years I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best.
on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me. And yet, no matter how many times I prove it, I'm not on your lovely little collector cups. I'm not on the cover of the program. I'm barely promoted. I don't get to be in movies. I'm certainly not on any crappy show on the USA Network. I'm not on the poster of WrestleMania. I'm not in the signature that's produced at the start of the show. I'm not on Conan O'Brien, I'm not on Jimmy Fallon, but the fact of the matter is I should be, and trust me, this isn't sour grapes, but the fact that Dwayne is in the main event of WrestleMania next year and I'm not makes me sick. Oh, and hey, let me get something straight. Those of you who are cheering me right now, you are just the biggest part of me leaving as anything else. Because you're the ones that are sipping out of those collector cups right now. You're the ones that buy those programs that my face isn't on the cover of. And then at 5 in the morning at the airport, you try to shove it in my face so you can get an autograph and try to sell it on eBay because you're too lazy to go get a real job. I'm leaving with the WWE Championship on July 17th, and hell, who knows, maybe I'll go defend it in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe I'll go back to Ring of Honor. Hey, Colt Cabana, how you doing? The reason I'm leaving is you people, because after I'm gone, you're still going to pour money into this company. I'm just a spoke on the wheel. The wheel's going to keep turning, and I understand that. But Vince McMahon's going to make money to spite himself. He's a millionaire who should be a billionaire. You know why he's not a billionaire? It's because he surrounds himself with glad-handing, nonsensical yes men like John Laurinaitis, who's going to tell him everything that he wants to hear. And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's dead. But the fact is, it's going to get taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon, all right? Can we do this whole bully camp?
Chick magnet, CM Punk. You know what? There are people who say it was scripted. Vince knew exactly what was going on. People say it was off the cuff, and nobody in the back had any idea he was going to go off the hook like that. Real or not, shoot or work, man, he brought the Thomas and Mack Arena in Las Vegas to its feet, and he did this on a daily basis. And what made it even great was this was the catalyst for the WWE run of the Summer of Punk. Canada Dry, why don't you wax poetic, if you will, about Mr. CM Punk?
Oh, wow. You know, I love CM Punk as a heel when he does those promos. And I'm sure MJF, it reminded me a bit of MJF with those little comments. I think he learned a lot from CM Punk's heel promos. But that promo, I was glued to the screen there just now, just listening and soaking in every word. Even though I've heard it before, I just every single word was great.
Yeah. Brent, what did you think about Mr. Punk?
I would have liked to have seen him walk away with a WWE title and go to Japan and Ring of Honor. And they actually go along with the story. And
they did not like that bit there when he said that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. Sign the contract. Okay, great. Here's your crappy title back. Even though it's not crappy, but here you go.
Yeah. And it was funny because he talked frequently about not being on an ice cream bar. And of course, when he made his triumphant return back to wrestling with AEW, everybody got an ice cream bar with his face and name on it. it is. He is probably one of the best mic workers around. I followed him when he was in Ring of Honor. I was kind of hesitant about what they were going to do with him in WWE, and I think they wasted him for a lot of years before we finally got the Summer of Punk, and we finally got him with a belt around his waist. But yeah, I mean, he is a stroke of genius on the mic. I mean, that guy can cut a promo like there's no tomorrow. Which brings us, of course, to our numero uno, as voted by you, the fans. Let's be honest, this is probably one of the greatest promos to ever be dropped. It launched an amazing career in WWE that was stalling out. I'm not even going to announce who it is. I'm just going to go ahead and play it. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our number one.
The fourth prestigious King of the Ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin, an incredible victory.
The first thing I want me done is to get that piece of crap out of my ring. Don't just get him out of the ring, get him out of the WWF. Because I've proved, son, without a shadow of a doubt, you ain't got what it takes anymore. You sit there and you thump your Bible and you say your prayers, and it didn't get you anywhere. Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass.
Come on, that's not necessary.
All he's got to do is go buy him a cheap bottle of Thunderbird and try to dig back some of that courage he had in his prime. As the King of the Ring, I'm serving notice to every one of the WWF superstars. I don't give a damn what they are. They're all on the list, and that's Stone Cold's list, and I'm fixing to start running through all of them. As far as this championship match is considered, son, I don't give a damn if it's Davey Boy Smith or Shawn Michaels. Steve Austin's time has come. And when I get the shot, you're looking at the next WWF champion, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Obviously anything but humble. The fourth prestigious King of the Ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow. Here's the thing. We owe a debt of gratitude to this promo and to Stone Cold Steve Austin, to Triple H and the curtain call, because if it wasn't for that curtain call, if it wasn't for the fact that it got recorded and it got leaked and people found out that kayfabe is not real, Triple H would have won the King of the Ring that year. Instead, Vince does the swerve, gives it to Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then Stone Cold launches literally the Attitude Era with just one freaking promo. And it's probably one of the greatest promos of all time. Brent, your thoughts on, of course, Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin?
One of my favorite of all time. I mean, definitely a time when wrestling needed a reboot. We like you said, he brought in an era.
Yeah.
I mean, like everybody, literally right after, everybody was like known, like Al Snow. I mean, The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like
Canada Dry, what do you think?
Just like Joseph said, I don't think WWE is anywhere without this promo. What I like about this promo, it's just like the Rock's. It's opening the door. It's opening the crack to who he's going to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, show me more. It's definitely not his best promo.
Yeah.
But it's the defining promo. It's his origin story. And I really like that. But I also want to apologize to Fiona that we're featuring Stone Cold again. Sorry, Fiona. We love you.
Yep, we do. Alex Haney's wife, Fiona. Here's the thing. Stone Cold, Steve Austin would say, I think you could say easily that Stone Cold was a decent wrestler. Steve Austin was a good wrestler in WCW. It wasn't until he got to ECW when he was injured. Paul Heyman gave him a mic and gave him a camera and said, just cut promos. You can't wrestle, just cut promos. And his ECW stuff, it's on YouTube. Look it up. It is unbelievable how he honed that craft of cutting a promo in ECW and brought that to WWE and erased the whole Taskmaster with the $1 Million Man belt and focus on the building blocks that he used, the foundation he built in ECW to becoming the genesis of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think is just.
Let me ask you guys this question.
Yeah.
Without that feud with Bret Hart, does Stone Cold become the household name we know now?
With the double turn, probably not.
Like that, he needed Bret Hart, even though he didn't win a match against Bret.
Yeah,
it still made it. That's amazing. This is to go to show with those fans who say they're burying blah blah blah. No, they're not burying him. It's part of the process.
Yeah,
just like that on NWA with Natalya, they're slowly introducing her to everyone.
Yeah,
and it's a slow. Every week on NWA USA, there's a little bit more Natalya, and you're like, oh, this is who she is, and they're just introducing her. They even teased a world title shot with Carmella coming up, so you never know what's going to happen. You just got to wait.
Yeah, and they did a brilliant job slow building, Steve Austin, and like I said, I mean, if it wasn't for Triple H and the curtain call, we might not have ever gotten this promo, and we may not have ever gotten. We may never received Stone Cold. We would have just had Steve
we
Austin.
are really overtime today. We got it.
Yeah, we are. All right. So, anyways, that's our top 10. Love it or hate it. That is what we picked. Voted by the fans on the top 4. Of course, you can find us, on our brand new website, fnwrestling.com. That's got links to all our social media. And if you want to throw a T on your back, like the Owen Hart tribute shirt that I am lovingly wearing on air today, you can go find us at prowrestling.com, prowrestlingtees.com/FNWrestling.
Let me just say, hit the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be able to get a notification whenever we're on. Subscribe, and also there's a prize giveaway for February coming up. We don't know what it is, but fill out your name and subscribe, and you get a chance to win. And tune in tonight for Wrestling with the Paranormal. We got a scary clip show.
Ooh, scary clip show. Love it. Love it. Brent, thank you very much for coming on the pod. We greatly appreciate it. We have to have you back. You have a great, unique view of wrestling. We're a bunch of jobbers and jabronis over here. We've never run the ropes or taken a bump. But it was a pleasure having you. And before we end the show, Canada Dry, I know, we talked about Hulk Hogan possibly being in the top 10 promos with his NWO promo. Was he upset that we didn't include him in the top 10 with his heel turn?
Okay, so I had one sentence sent to me this week. It said, I deleted the comment, damn it. It's like this. With his vaccine comment, he said I deleted it. So he was upset that we mentioned it. He didn't want it talked about. So we're seeing if to mend a little bit of fences here to get him on the. He was coming up, but I think it's kind of hurt us a bit. So it's kind of backed it up a bit. So Hulk Hogan's still going to be on the show.
Yeah, we got to grease those wheels.
with that Hulk Hogan, you took a loss this week. So that's Effin' Wrestling 73, Hulk Hogan 0, Canada Dry out.
This has been an Effin' Worldwide Media production. You can find us on Twitter at AllEffin' or at Effin' Podcast. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Effin' Wrestling. After that, why don't you go ahead and throw a T on your back? You can find us on the Pro Wrestling Tees store at prowrestlingtees.com/Effin' Wrestling. You can find all this at our new website, effinwrestling.com. And as always,